Hi, I'm Bob Meredith, and I suppose, for want of a better name, you'd call me a Ghostbuster. Essentially, what I do is I collect stories. I like collecting the stories, and I reckon I tell them pretty well too, to be honest. I had an interesting phone call one morning. He got my number from the publisher, and he phoned me up and he said, "Are you interested in ghosts?" I said, "Yeah, right." He said, "I've got a lovely story to tell about my house." He said, "Can you come?" So off I went. And this was a huge house. And when I got there, the guy said, "Come in." And I said, "Okay, what's the story?" Well, he said, "Could you see that kitchen door?" And it was a glass door in between the dining room and the kitchen. Well, he said, "Last night we were all sitting here having our dinner." And he said, suddenly the door opened. And he said, we all looked up expecting it to be a neighbour. He said, there was no one there. He said, you could see clearly through the glass. And then it closed again. And he said, we just sat there, just gobsmacked, really. Then his wife said, yes, she said, but it's worse than that. She said, if I'm upstairs, then I'll hear somebody calling my name downstairs and vice versa. And then his son said, I can't keep my watch right. And he said, I'll take it off at night when I go to bed. And he said, the following morning, I find its hours out. But he said, don't happen in the day, but only overnight. And then the guy said, come with me a minute. So we went into his front room. He rolled the carpet back from the floor. And he said, you see that trap door there? He said, come down. Well, I wasn't keen. I really was not keen. So down we went into his basement. He said, "Could you see that barrel?" And there was the remains of a barrel, like a sort of a butter barrel or something. And it was just the remains of it. Well, he said, something funny. He said, when we moved in, he said, we didn't think there was a basement at all in this house. He said the garden had been banked up all round it. And he said, we got a funny smell in the front room. So he said, a builder came in and he said, well, let's dig a hole in the floor and see what's under there. And we discovered there was a basement room. And he said, apparently, in the 1920s, the owners of the house had a ghost here, a poltergeist. And they'd got an exorcist, and the exorcist had trapped the ghost in the barrel, sealed the barrel, and put it in the basement, had sealed the basement, and had left it. Now, he said, when I came down here, he said, I got hold of that barrel. He said, I opened it. And he said, from that moment on, he said, we've had nothing but poltergeist activity. So there it is. Isn't that a delightful story?